Good afternoon, everybody. This is our mic check. If you can see us, if you can hear us, give us a thumbs up, and we will begin promptly at 3 o'clock.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good today. I have a few announcements before our numbers. Before I go into our numbers, do want to start with, as I have the last few days on our brush pickup, I want to remind people of the state. They wound up their pickup as far as the state highway yesterday, and they will, if you do have some in the future, near future, they said they would work with you, but you need to call the DOT number there at the barn, or you can call here and we get in contact with them for you. But as of yesterday, they're finished up with the debris pickup on state highways. Now the county, we're going to work on into the end of the month, as we said yesterday. If you have, try to get the debris, of course, to the edge of the road. But if you do have storm debris, if you still have a building or whatever that actually has been blown down during that storm, that time, if you can bring it across, you have to cross the scales, but we'll we'll help you on the actual fee, the dump fee on it. So if that happens, and you do have people helping you do have some more to clean up as far as anything other than the wood, just give me a call and we'll work with you on that. And we're just trying to help everybody we can. But I think most people are kind of winding it down. Most people have already got 90% of their stuff already taken care of, and which is great. The Silver Springs Gap Road, we get calls on it just about every day. It has affected a lot of people. We're looking, hopefully, finishing that Friday. I'm not going to promise that. I know it'll be open no later than Monday, but the rain kind of put them back a little bit. They worked all day yesterday, and they're working all day today on it. And I'll know more about it tomorrow. Exactly where we stand at, but it looks really good right now. I've seen some pictures of it a while ago, and so they're trying to wind that up where the people up on the mountain will have that access back down to the valley. We're voting today. They're voting out in their commission room. It's going on right now. Luana reported, they're averaging about 100 people a day. That's correct, isn't it, Carrie? That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a
It really
lot.
is, yeah. And I think you said that they had actually already approximately 800 people by absentee had voted.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's a lot. So good, just keep going. I mean, vote. That's great. That people and you've got several weeks left, a couple of weeks more left, and then before the election. So hopefully it's going to be a good turnout. I hope. The Cloudland Canyon, I know we mention that every day, but it is a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people don't go that way, but for the people that live in that area, I've been on the phone with their state people, Mark Williams. Hopefully he'll call me back today or tomorrow, and they're going to tell me kind of what they're going to do. There's a possibility. I don't know this for sure. There's a possibility they may open the parking back up into the canyon there. I don't know that that'll happen, but they're going to have to do something because what's happening, even though they're shutting the park down when they get 150 cars in there, the people are still coming, and they're not leaving. They're waiting, and they're parking in areas, And from what I understand, they're parking on the outside, and the park is not charging them anything to walk in. So if they find a parking place on the outside of the perimeter of the park, which is on 136 or at the foot of the mountain, then they're free to walk in. So we're having a tremendous amount of people doing that. And it's creating a very a danger there on 136. And if you haven't been by there, you don't understand what I'm talking about. But it's just amazing this past weekend how many people were actually walking single file that mile and a half, 2 miles, and then another mile in to get into that canyon. And so hopefully they'll work that out because that's state. We don't have any control. I get a lot of calls, but we're county, and we can only do so much. But that is state property, and it's even state right away. Now they did have the troopers out there. They got them out there over the weekend, and they were working. And I'm sure they'll probably have more out there this weekend to try to help keep down the congestion. Excuse me. I just want to remind everybody that they're still for our seniors and our people that have had lung problems or asthma, whatever. The shelter in place is still intact. For you people up till the 12th, June the 12th. And what that means is just what it says. I mean, they're asking you to stay in and try to be very, very careful about going out. You can still go out and buy groceries, go to church and all, but try to stay at home as much as possible because we're still our numbers are still changing. They're still going up. But and anytime you go out, try to wear a mask and do your social distancing. Try to do your shopping early if you do, because a lot of the stores they do have open earlier for seniors. And so just keep in mind, until the 12th, they feel like it, they'll be able to relieve that, and you can go kind of back as close to normal as you can. We're still doing testing downstairs down at the health department. I've been watching this morning some, and they've been, not a line, but they've been pretty constant, cars going through. I'm not sure on the numbers down there yet as far as how many that they're averaging. Okay, Alex just said it so far today, and say they just opened. They opened from 1 to 4, so it's not been going since this morning, but they've had 9 so far since 1 o'clock, and it's 3, so that's pretty good, But it's a free testing. It don't take very long at all. You don't have to wait in line, and they run you right on through there. And they told us yesterday that you really don't even have to call and make an appointment now. I mean, it'd probably be good to call the health department number just to make sure, or you might call it, and they can probably fill a form out over the phone. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And they also are the medical facility over here at Lawson Medical. They are still doing a the blood draw, which is an antibody test, and then also the Clinic Lafayette is also doing that. The Lafayette and the Walker County Civic Center in Lafayette, they are doing the swab as our health department here. It is a free test. Both places are there, but Lawson Medical and Lafayette, there is a charge for that, and we've got that on our website if you want to go on the numbers and all as far as our phone numbers. But Emergency Medical Services Appreciation Week's this week. Alex mentioned it. We mention it pretty much every day this week. If you see our MS people out, just try to thank them and tell them how much you appreciate them, because sometimes they're kind of the people in the background that don't really get a lot of recognition until you call them and you're there waiting on them. One of your loved ones is there and they're needed. So if you would, if you see these people out, just tell them how much that you do appreciate them, because I don't know what we do without them really. Let's move into the numbers. The Georgia, as we speak today, has 38,889 confirmed cases. That's up from 38,624 as of yesterday. Totally in Georgia, they've actually done a total of 402,940 tests. In Dade County, fortunately, we're staying the same. We're at 20. We have 11 antibody tests there that can be taken away from that. So we're at 9 with 1 deceased. So that leaves us with 8 people there that are confirmed in the county. We know that most of those people have already gotten over it, already quarantined, or they're out, back out in public and back at work. So it's really, that's not a really bad number. 20 sounds bad, but when you really do the numbers, that's not really bad. Walker County, they have went up to 77. They were 74 yesterday. They have 44 antibody tests there that can be taken away from that. 71 was Catoosa yesterday. They're up to 75. They have 23 antibody tests. Chattooga, they went from 15 to 17. They only have 2 antibody tests that can be deducted there. Whitfield County, they went from 189 to 194. Gordon County went from 129 to 132. Floyd County went from 187 to 196. Bartow County, they went from 407 to 413. There's still 2,117 unknown addresses or unknown counties that's in these numbers, and of course some of those could be Dade counties, as we said before. There's been a total of 1,684 deaths, and that's up from 1,649 yesterday. Total hospitalization is 7,089. That's total now from the beginning till now, and those numbers will not go down because they do not take away from them. As our numbers, like at 20, they're not deducting, so they'll never really go down. As people, Tennessee, they're showing us recovery rates, so you can deduct that recovery, from you can kind of get an idea. And hopefully Georgia will start doing that and give us some statistics on those. But moving to Tennessee and Hamilton County, they had 357 yesterday. They're at 377 today. And they have 153 people that have recovered, with 13 deceased. Marion County, they went from 33 to 34. They have 24 recovered, with 1 deceased. Grundy County, they went from 30 to 31. They have 26 recovered and one death. Sequatchie County, they're down 1 from 10. They were 10 yesterday. They dropped 1 to 9. That was probably from a mistaken address or whatever. It was given to another county. They have 7 recovered there in Sequatchie. Meigs County, they stayed the same at 22. They have 19 recovered. Bradley County, they went from 83 to 84. They have 69 recovered, with 1 deceased. Totally in Tennessee, they have 301 deaths. That's compared to what was their deaths? 1,684 deaths. That's a big deal, big difference there between Tennessee and Georgia. In Alabama, they currently in Jackson County, which is our bordering county, they went from 63 to 64. DeKalb County, they went from 195, they hit 200 in DeKalb County. Okay, try to keep wearing your mask when you're out in public, when you're buying groceries or at church. Try to follow all guidelines, and especially when you're, like I said, when you're out, but especially when you're at church or maybe at a funeral or whatever. Don't let your guard down, because it protects you and protects the person there with you. Alex, you got to come up. You got to give us an update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Case, Director of Dade County Emergency Services and Mayor here for the city of Trenton. Really appreciate everybody continuing to do their social distancing and safe practices out in public. And it's great that everybody's doing their part in doing that. One of the things, we had a lot of questions come back to us yesterday about the city pool. Again, our city pool is opening this Saturday from 12 to 6 and Sunday from 11 to 6, and then Monday through Saturday it's always 12 through 6. But this Saturday it's opening, and why we're able to open that is based on what public health has given us through the reopening, and then why is the playground not open? I think the touching of the surfaces and types of things that it could be on that if children get on it. We're hoping by the end of the month that might change. But again, we're going off base the guidelines, what the executive order has given us, and clarifications through ACCG and GMA. That's been a big question. One of the things is at the pool, we're doing very safe distance that families can stay together. Like if you go to church or you go to something that's got 10 or more people, families and people that's in the same household can sit together, but the next group has to be 6 foot apart if it's another family beside it. We've got some extra seasonal help hired. That's going to be sanitation of hard surfaces, the restrooms, different things, even the lawn chairs that's out for that we're doing. We're taking extra precautions, signage to remind everyone, and we've got to look at capacity too. So lifeguards, I think we're actually having some training there tomorrow. Where Red Cross is coming to finish up. A lot of folks was trying to get certified with lifeguards. We was able to get the full pool field chemicals in, and they're actually coming down to certify a couple folks that's going to be working for us and some other areas that Red Cross is doing. They'll be doing their swim training tomorrow, CPR, and then back for some swim certification things Friday before we open up. But a lot of preparation going on, safety for the adults and the children that's in that facility. Again, our facility is ADA capability. Does have an ADA lift to let someone in the pool, and that's what they're there to do. One of our clerks went today to get all the snacks and the drinks and stuff at Sam's. We're getting prepared for that. So a lot of effort, a lot of teamwork from each individual of the city. Again, Executive Romney talked about this as EMS week. Myself and Carrie yesterday was able to go meet with them that afternoon and give them some packs, little snack packs, individuals for them. I've been there twice today, and they've both been gone. It's been a little bit of a busy day. We never know in the EMS world what's going on, and sometimes call after call gets them rotating in, and we'd like to get to them. We got 3 different shifts, A, B, and C shift, and there's 12 folks of that do that, and we really appreciate what they do, plus the part-time folks through Dade EMS that backs up whenever we get so busy. Sometimes we get so busy here, other counties get busy, and our float trucks are not able to get to our county quick enough, and we take, after 6 minutes, and there's no truck available for Dade County, we put what we call Dade County Station 9, Dade EMS on standby, advising we have no trucks available. That don't happen as long as it used to be, but it's always that safety crutch that we like to have to make sure that we get nervous when we don't have an ambulance. It's a very important part of our public safety for our folks and for our visitors. And again, thank those folks because they've been in a very different situation for several weeks and a lot more personal protective they have to wear, and it's been a little bit extra expense for us on the burn rate, what we call it, from using these things over and over. And we're working on we have applied for grant funding to assist with that we're working on numbers and be submitting that the first week in June. We're going to try to submit monthly for the extra supplies that we're doing. But again, thank those folks if you know them, or send something out to them if you know them. Appreciate those folks. Again, thank you all for what you're doing. Again, if you have any questions, info@dadecounty-ga.gov, or you can contact Trenton City Hall at 706-657-4167.
Thank you, Alex. Hope everyone stays safe out there, and of course we'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We are doing these all the way through Friday. And so if you have any questions, I say this every day, but please call us or go online with Carrie. She monitors that pretty regularly. My number is 667-8999, or you can get our numbers from either commissioners on our website. And we're here for you, so if you have any questions, don't be bashful. And we'll be back tomorrow and see you at 3 o'clock.